decided that we would look at Elaine Breda Hobbs' interview and see what she's lying about.
And we are joined now by Amber Heard's attorney, Elaine Charlson Bredehoff. Good morning to you. It's good to see you. First question, how is Amber doing? We saw her hearing that verdict. It took a long time to read. It was a sweeping verdict for Johnny Depp. How did she handle it?
You know, one of the first things she said is, I am so sorry to all those women out there. This is a setback for all women in and outside the courtroom. And she feels it, and she feels the burden of that.
That's crap.
Yeah, if you watch the trial, there's absolutely no way. She bolted out of that courtroom and ran into that side room. There's no way she was thinking about other women. And she did not have enough time to tell Elaine, oh, I feel so bad for those women. Oh, God. No chance.
That's just like I said. I knew this was going to happen. She was going to say it's setting women back hundreds of years or whatever.
Are you stunned that the jury essentially rejected her story?
Well, you know, really what happened here is it's a tale of two trials. Johnny Depp brought a suit in the UK for the same case, and the burden of proof was easier for him there. The son had to actually prove that it was true, and the court found there, and we weren't allowed to tell the jury this, but the court found that Mr. Depp had committed at least 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence, against Amber. So what did Depp's team learn from this? Demonize Amber and suppress the evidence. We had an enormous amount of evidence that was suppressed in this case that was in the UK case. In the UK case, when it came in, Amber won, Mr. Depp lost.
But here's the thing.
She's trying to say that the UK case should have been brought into the US case in order to get Johnny's case dismissed, because she says something like he had his chance in the UK, but he wasn't suing Amber in the UK.
That's not what the thing was about anyway. It was about the lies she told, like it wasn't the same issue.
Yeah, and he wasn't suing Amber in the UK. He was suing the son.
Yeah.
But they also have different laws, different rules, and it's a whole different jurisdiction. So to say that, oh, he had his chance and Amber won in the UK, Amber didn't win in the UK. She was not a defendant. She was a witness. And she submitted 7 different witness statements because her stories kept changing. But she was a witness. The son was on trial.
Yeah, it's 2 different cases. Just makes no sense to compare them. They were for different things.
Yeah, it's 2 different cases. He was not suing the son over what Amber said. And it's a whole different thing from Amber being a defendant in the case and having to get on the stand and being a witness.
Held accountable for what she did.
Well, that too. But being a witness in the UK trial, she was only a witness. And Elaine keeps trying to say we need to bring in the UK trial to get this one thrown out because Johnny already had his chance and Amber won. Amber didn't win anything. She's not a named party. The paper is.
You argued in your closing arguments that if they found even one instance of abuse, and it did not even have to be physical abuse, that they would have to find for Amber Heard, and they didn't.
And the other part to bear in mind here is nothing changed. The op-ed didn't even mention Mr. Depp by name. And so what basically they did here is demonize her. And they were able to suppress the medical records, which were very, very significant because they showed a pattern going all the way back to 2012 of Amber reporting this to her therapist, for example.
Okay, I'm sorry. But Amber reporting this to her therapist is not a medical record. A medical record is when a doctor looks at you, takes an x-ray or a CAT scan or a CT or a PET scan or whatever, and says, yes, you have a broken orbital bone, or yes, I see bruising, and I see bloody eyes, and I see swollen noses and broken cartilage and stuff like that. Because Amber going to her psychiatrist and saying, Johnny hit me, and then the psychiatrist introducing those notes into evidence is just circular hearsay.
Unless the psychiatrist is bruising herself, but that doesn't make it like a medical exam. It's makes no sense. You can't use that.
No, you can't, because it's circular hearsay. If
If
the
you're getting
psychiatrist,
beaten up, you go to the hospital right away, or if sexually assaulted, and they would have all that stuff on file.
yeah, no, but she
They
got
never did
violated by a bottle,
that. Didn't go to the doctor or the ER.
walked around on broken glass, and Johnny dragged her elbows and arms through broken glass like Die Hard.
Didn't call 911 because that would have blood everywhere.
She said she was bleeding from her area,
Mm-hmm.
but didn't call 911, didn't require medical treatment. What did she do? She went upstairs, she took some sleeping pills, and she went to bed.
That's not, no.
I'm sorry, if somebody violated you with a freaking liquor bottle and then dragged you through broken glass on your arms and...
You wouldn't think, oh, let's just go to bed.
Yeah. And then you start walking on broken glass and you have cuts on your feet, cuts on your arm, you're bleeding from your area, and you go, I'm going to hit the hay.
Yeah, night. It was a good night.
No
That's
chance.
not how it works.
We had significant amount of texts, including from Mr. Depp's assistants, saying, when I told him he kicked you, he cried. He is so sorry. That didn't come in.
Okay, I got to talk about this one because the text that she's talking about are texts that Amber sent to somebody else saying, Johnny's assistant told me that Johnny cried when he told him I kicked him. That is not evidence. That's why the judge didn't let them into evidence, because that is not evidence. That is Amber texting one of her friends and saying what Johnny's assistant told her. After probably Johnny had given his phone to his assistant and said, just placate her. Tell her whatever she needs to hear to be happy and leave me alone. Because Johnny testified that he did that all the time.
None of it makes sense because if you're an actual victim, you would have gotten help from the get-go. I feel like somebody would have known and had proof, pictures, something. None of that makes sense. There's no actual pictures of any of the stuff she has said happened. Yet she has make sure she clicks on the camera and records them secretly would make you think that she records everything. So then where are the pictures?
Yeah. And that's what they said during closing arguments. They said, this is a woman who documents everything. Mm-hmm. She documents Johnny sleeping. She documents Johnny passed out with ice cream in his lap.
Dirty carpet.
Yeah. She documents the bed that Johnny supposedly assaulted her in. She documents the bottom of the bed where the wood supposedly chipped off from his boots. Even though there's a pocket knife on the bed. Mm-hmm. But anyway... She documents the bottom of the bed where the wood chipped, but she didn't document the top of the bed where she said her blood was all over the pillows and blankets.
Her body. Okay, because she's going to be bleeding from somewhere.
She didn't document her body. Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It makes zero sense.
This is just
and then
a story she created when she knew the money she was used to was going to stop coming. Almost. I feel like that's what it is.
That's basically what it is. Johnny said he was done. He was out. He was about to file for divorce. And she beat him to it. And she went and filed the TRO at the courthouse. And then she went and filed divorce before Johnny could. And then she started claiming she was a victim of domestic violence. Mm-hmm. After not having mentioned it her entire marriage, as soon as she gets that TRO, and she's got a mark under her eye, then all of a sudden, I'm a victim.
Mm-hmm. Is there any other way to interpret this verdict, though, that this jury, for whatever reason, and I hear you on some of the evidence that they didn't hear, listening to Amber Heard, did not believe a single word?
You know, and that's because she was demonized here. A number of things were allowed in this court that should not have been allowed.
Okay, I gotta stop here because she did not answer that question. That's called evasion.
It's because she was demonized. No. What Amber said was not... It was live. There was no editing or anything like that.
No, there wasn't.
So, no, that's not it at all. She was demonized, so she had... no.
She says that that's because she was demonized. But in saying that's because she was demonized, she actually acknowledges what the reporter asked her. The reporter said, is there any other way to interpret this other than you presented all your evidence and the jury just didn't believe her? And she says that's because she was demonized. So she's basically saying they didn't believe her because she was demonized. But ultimately, they didn't believe her.
That's almost accusing the jury of, how you're not supposed to read or anything.
Yeah.
Almost, what is it called? That's almost accusing them of
just breaking their oath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And it caused the jury to be confused. We weren't allowed to tell them about the UK judgment. So the damages is completely skewed. There are no damages. It stopped at November 2, 2020, which is when the judgment came down in the UK.
Of course, you're not allowed to tell them about the UK judgment because the UK judgment has nothing to do with this case. Johnny Depp sued the UK Sun over a cover that they printed he was a wife beater. Amber Heard was just used as a witness, and the judge just took everything she said to heart and said she was credible, I believe her, therefore Johnny Depp loses. And all the Sun had to prove was that they could trust the person that told them the information. So when Amber Heard comes and says, I was molested by Johnny Depp, I was beaten by Johnny Depp, they are allowed to say, we found her credible and we trusted her, so we took her at her word and wrote the story. Therefore, it's not libel because they thought it was true from the person that they got the information from. That's how it works in England. That's the only reason the Sun won, not Amber. Amber was just a witness.
Let me ask you about social media in this case. Unlike any celebrity case, certainly I've ever covered or ever seen, social media was a part of this. And it was incredibly lopsided and vitriolic against Amber Heard. Do you think that had an effect on the case?
Absolutely.
You think jurors were aware of it? They weren't supposed to be. They're admonished every single day. Don't look at it. Do you think they did see it?
How can you not? They went home every night. They have families. The families are on social media. We had a 10-day break in the middle of the case.
And they tell their families that don't tell me anything. They're saying that they're all crooked people, basically.
Horrible. It really, really was lopsided. And I appreciate your saying that. It's like the Roman Colosseum, how they viewed this whole case. I was against cameras in the courtroom, and I went on record with that and had argued against it because of the sensitive nature of this.
No, because your client was lying and you didn't want everybody to have access to it. The actual live video of her face instead of some kind of only court artists are allowed in. No, that's why.
Yeah. Anytime somebody says they don't want something recorded, there's probably a reason they don't want to record it. Why? Oh, why, if Elaine believed her client and thought her client was correct and thought that Johnny Depp is a monster, why did she fight so hard to not have cameras in the courtroom so everybody could see what Johnny did to her client, the victim on the stand being forced to testify?
She knew how it would come across as she knew her client was going to lose. And that the media would support that if nobody's seen it, like live happening. And it was just that the media would turn it however they wanted. So people believe that, even if it's not the truth. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's why she wanted to hide it. And as far as social media goes, she is obsessed with Tug, that umbrella guy. She thinks he is like Johnny Depp's best friend, and they coordinate and they send out all these Twitter mob people to disparage and insult Amber. She doesn't realize that was organic based on your client and the way we saw her testify. Amber Heard did not look like she was telling the truth at any point.
Nope. Not at all.
Her faces and mood changed like instantaneously, and you know this, Elaine. I know you're trying to be
common sense, you know it.
I know you're trying to be a zealous advocate for your client, and that's your job, and that's what she's paying you for, but you know, she's lying. Everybody can tell she's lying.
I've been to trials before, though, where you represent someone and then you're afterwards, if your client loses, I've seen this firsthand. They say, yeah, he was guilty of sin. I mean,
Yeah.
they just are, I don't know.
Yeah, because some lawyers know that their clients are guilty. Just like I'm sure her team knows that she is not innocent.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, Amber, if she had admitted to one thing, just one thing, if she had said, yes, I leaked that tape to TMZ. Yes, I tipped them off about my tiara. I was in a bad place. I was breaking up with my husband and I was really down and I knew he was more popular and he could win the PR war. So I did what I thought I had to do to try and win the PR war. Guess what? People would be more sympathetic to you.
I feel like she's just like a really evil person.
Okay, she might not, but most people would be more sympathetic to you. But you got up on the stand and everybody was a liar but you.
Yeah, that's how I know I'd be more pessimistic, because I feel like I can read people better than most people. So I would have known before.
Yeah, you get on the stand and everybody's a liar but you. The owner of the trailer palace, the guy who built it, who thought it up in his mind, built it, owned it, maintained it, decorated it, everything else. You get up on the stand and you say, I don't know that guy. That guy wasn't there. How would he know? He wasn't there. But I don't blame him. He wasn't there. So how would he know? The guy owned the freaking place. And he was much more credible than you when you got on the stand.
But it made it a zoo.
Does your client want to appeal?
Oh, absolutely. And she has some excellent grounds for it. We even had tried to get the UK judgment in to dismiss his case because he already had his shot. And that's one of the issues, but also a number of the evidentiary issues. There was so much evidence that did not come in.
Is she able to pay a $10.4 million judgment?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Oh my God.
My client's broke. But she also said, oh, she has excellent grounds to appeal because we couldn't get the 2020 UK case in. You don't get the 2020 UK case in.
It has nothing to do with this. What? I don't get it. So you're doing this for free too, right? Because she doesn't have any money now, correct? Like you just said.
Yeah.
So you must be representing her for free? I don't know.
No, no. I mean, she still has money, but she doesn't have enough money to pay the $8.3 million that she owes Johnny. She doesn't have that much money. Otherwise, she would have donated it, like she said, instead of pledging it, which she said was synonymous, which anybody who's past 5th grade English knows pledging and donating are not synonymous.
What kind of money does she have then? Because then who's supporting all these attorneys if she doesn't have any money?
People think it's either her homeowner's insurance or it's Elon Musk. People think, because a lot of people were saying, well, is Elon Musk now going to write her a check for $8.5 million or $8.3 million to Johnny? And all the polls said, yes, he would.
Finally, in closing arguments, Amber's team argued that this would send a message, that it would send a message that no matter what you do as an abuse victim, you always have to do more. You need to be perfect in order for people to believe you if she did not get a favorable verdict. What message do you think this sends?
It's a horrible message. It's, as I said, a setback. It's a significant setback because that's exactly what it means. Unless you pull out your phone and you video your spouse or your significant other beating you, effectively, you won't be believed.
Okay, and what did Amber do for almost their entire relationship but pull out her phone and take pictures of Johnny and secretly record Johnny? So why wasn't she able to get some pictures of her face?
Right. Unless you pull out your phone and take pictures of your body or whatever like that, you're fake. But the fact that her client pulled out her phone for other things, it makes no sense. My God, she's so stupid. Sorry.
Yeah. Your client took out her phone all the time to take pictures of Johnny, to take videos of Johnny, to take pictures of the bed, to take pictures of the mirrors, to take pictures of wine stains on the floor, to take pictures of everything around except for her injuries. Why is that?
She said it's a setback for women because now nobody's going to believe them unless they've taken a video or photo. But what about being a setback for people that tell the truth? Like, she lied, and the only thing Johnny wanted was the truth to come out that he wasn't an abuser. I don't know. Just it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's really frustrating. Sorry.
Yeah, no. That's ridiculous.
Elaine Charles and Bretta Hoff, thank you very much for your time this morning. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Renee and Scotty out.